Okay, I'm going to do a review on, this is a Chinese laser duplicator that I bought this from a company called dhgate, and I've had it for probably about a year, and I paid $120 with shipping. Um, and it's just a great little machine. And it is little. It's not that big of a machine. It's hard to see in the here. But pretty much there's two switches. There's one for a light and one for the motor. This is your plunger, brings the cutter down, and this is your moves your track. There's a few things you'll have to make if you get one of these machines. Like to do Honda keys, I had to make a spacer. I don't know if you can see that spacer in there. Just a 23 thousandths feeler gauge. Just make a little spacer to go in there that lifts the key up, so it doesn't cut into your jaws. But the machine came with a couple belts, a bunch of cutters. I've never had to change the belt. A bunch of different cutters. This machine is capable of cutting tubular keys. I've never used it for that. I've always just used it for laser cut keys. One thing I do, and I've cut hundreds of them on it, so it definitely is a neat little machine, and it does work. If you don't cut many laser cut keys, I charge $35 to cut a laser cut key, so it pays for itself in a few keys. So if you don't cut laser cut keys right now, this would be a great little investment to get, and it open a whole new world for you. You don't have to turn those customers down anymore. You could duplicate their keys. One thing I do love on this machine is down here you could lock the track, so the machine only goes forward and backwards. Now, what would be the advantage to that? Well, the main advantage is, let's go over here and grab a key blank. Let's say you're on your locksmith van and you don't have as many key blanks as you have in the shop, and you needed a key blank for a cabinet. What you can do is you could add an extra groove in the side of your key. So let's see if I can do this with one hand. So before you cut it, you're going to clamp this key in here. See if I can get it clamped in here. It's hard to do with one hand. There we go. So you can clamp it in here. You could line up the cutter. And you could use this as a little milling machine and mill an extra groove or a deeper groove in the side of your key. The huge advantage to that is you don't have to go back to the shop. You're gonna have this machine that's $120 on your van. Even if you never use it to cut laser cut keys, just being able to do this is worth it. So you could mill an extra groove in the side, and you could change this from a Y11 to something else, and then you can duplicate a bunch of keys for the desk or file cabinet or whatever you need to do. So just having that feature to be able to mill the sides of a key is a cool feature. So I recommend getting one of these for $120. Throw it on your van if you don't have a duplicator on your van. Even if you have a machine like a Ninja or a laser cut machine on your van, with this, it's not computer controlled, you control it. So if you want to mill the side of a key blank, you can do it. Or if you have let's say you have what is that called? A Slage Primus or one of these C123 keys, like something like this, and it has a side cut on it. And let's say you get to a job and they don't have a C123, they have a C45. Well, you could clamp this in the side of the machine and you could mill out, the side cut of the key, as long as you're taking a little bit more off. You can't add, and you can make your key, your C123, work as a C145. Or if you're, let's say you do ASA keys, same thing. You could. Let's see if I have any. Oh, I don't have any on the rack. You could alter your sidebar in order to make it work on the job that you're at. So it's a neat feature. And it also will do dimple. It has different tips. I don't ever change the tip. I use the one size, but it came with a bunch of different cutters for doing dimple keys and European style locks, which I don't do here. Mostly I'm doing the laser cut keys for Hondas and GMs, Volkswagens, the GM keys like these. But it gets you into the laser cut business if you're not already doing it. A lot of locksmiths I know are low budget. They can't afford a $7,000 or $8,000 machine, and they don't want a lease payment of $300 or $400 that the machine's costing more than the van you're driving. This gets you into that field, and once you get into this field and you start making money at this machine, you can invest in like an SC. I think it's called the SEC9, which is this Chinese version of like the Ninja. I don't know how good they work. I'm thinking about buying one. They're about $2,000 versus about $7,000. But anyways, that's going to be a different video. I'm just doing a video on this little machine here. I don't know what to call it except a Chinese laser cut duplicator. So hopefully this helps somebody if they want to get one of these little laser cut machines. They're a great little machine. All right, signing off.